This is Bezz Believe, the hustle god, the country trapper himself, and you are watching Country Rap News.
You build a loyal fan base completely independently. What do you think most artists are doing wrong when it comes to building a real following?
It's so hard for me to tell anyone what they're doing wrong or right these days because there's no telling what's about to blow up or go viral on the internet. But I think it's self-belief, being yourself, trusting within more. Stop always looking for outside validation. Even I love my fans, but you can't get wrapped up in what they tell you to do because over time, it's going to burn you out. You're going to feel unauthentic. You're going to feel like this is a difficult job when it started off as a passion. So I think if you want longevity, if you want to do this, you got to find yourself. You got to dig deep within and use this as therapy. Like use this as your outlet. Don't just look at it as a way to get famous or get clout or make money, because sure, you could blow up doing that, but after 10 years in the game, you're going to hate this shit.
Before music started paying the bills, what was life like for Bezz Believe?
Oh, them balls. The country trapper, you know. I don't want to get too much in detail, but, I don't lie on my music,
What's the biggest sacrifice you've made chasing your music career?
Everything. I can't even say because, like I said, this became me. It's really became me, where what other people might view as a sacrifice, like not having a social life or hanging out with a bunch of people or playing video games or doing what people say, I guess, oh, you don't have fun. Like that type of stuff is not fun to me. I feel like I'm wasting time. Like when I'm doing this is my fun. I feel fulfilled. So it's like, I don't view it as sacrifices anymore. I think to other people, maybe from the outside in, they'll be like, whoa, that's a lot of dedication. Like you're sacrificing the whole, what they consider fun. But if I was doing what they consider fun, I consider that more of a sacrifice. Like I'm not working on music. I'm not building legacy. I'm not making money right now. Like I need to get back to that. This, whatever y'all are doing, watching TV, just sitting there, riding roller coasters or whatever, thinking that's fun. That ain't fun to me. That feels like the sacrifice. Taking a break from this feels like the sacrifice.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Stop looking for outside validation. Stop comparing yourself to what anybody else is doing, because it's just not a healthy way to live, and it couldn't get you results. It's healthy to study the competition. It's healthy to study the marketing tactics, but don't get too into it, because at the end of the day, like I said, now that I'm a real veteran in this game, like I aim for longevity. It's like when you're just looking at what other people are doing, that's a short-term lick. Yeah, you could definitely go viral copying what somebody else did to go viral or studying a tactic, but are you going to want to copy other people's moves or study what they're doing for 10 years? Eventually, you're going to be like, I just want to express how I feel, and how they react to it is what it is. But I feel like with consistency, when it's genuine and you just stick to it, it's only God's plan that it's going to go.
You've worked with a lot of artists over the years. Who surprised you the most after meeting them?
It depends, surprised in a good way or a bad way. I'm not going to mention who surprised me in a bad way because it's a lot of people, unfortunately. They not who they say in the rhymes, and they're not even a real person. They're like a robot to a handler who's telling them every single thing to do, controls their bank account, tells them how to put on their freaking pants and their shoes. Like they're like a little baby in a man's body who just got lucky as shit that they have somebody who is able to just tell them exactly what to do, writes their music. They were just born into it and had a good homie or somebody manager. I'd say the most pleasant person that I came across, I wouldn't say I was surprised, but just the greatest individual that I met, who's a celebrity. He won't even say he's a celebrity, but Shaquille O'Neal, by far, by a landslide of anybody who's really up there.
What's the craziest thing you've ever spent money on after a big music check came in?
I would say I got the camo truck and the caddy at the same exact time. So it was like, that was a lot. That was a lot to spend like in a 2-day span.
If social media disappeared tomorrow, how would artists survive?
They'd have to be on the streets, man. Like I did that grind for years. And anybody who's complaining about social media, yeah, it's oversaturated. Yeah, it's a cloud chase. But I don't want to go back to standing in front of corner stores passing out CDs. I don't want to do that. I'd rather just make a hot music video and it goes viral. So a lot of people could not survive that generation. Luckily, I've already lived it, but I think I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it. It just takes the fun out of it because now you're spending all your time standing in front of corner stores, posted up, shaking hands. Like you have to spend all your time networking instead of creating. And with social media, it's a blessing because now all you got to do is create and put it out there and you can reach millions of people. It's like before it was just such a networking game. That's why it was so single based. It's like you come out with one good single and then you got to network the rest of your life. Go pull up to all the clubs, network with the DJs, pass out CDs. It was all about networking and it wasn't about creativity, which is crazy because I feel like the creativity was better back then, which is weird. But now it's like you just got to be good and do something that's eye-catching and you're going to get somewhere with it. And you don't have to network or put all the time into the promotion. You know, it takes the fun out of it. It was like, 90% business, 10% music. Now I could be like 90% music, 10% business,
I just want to take a quick break and tell you that this interview was brought to you by the Damage Control Tour with Savannah, Dexter, and Who the Fuck is Just in Time. They've got tour dates all across the country, starting September 26th all the way through November 6th. Check the tour dates and see what city they're in, and get your tickets at damagecontroltour.com. All right, now back to the interview.
What's one thing fans think they know about you that's completely wrong?
I think when fans find out that I come from a family of Jewish heritage, they think that signed to the Zionist Illuminati and they give me $7,000 per post, and that Jeffrey Epstein is my handler and put me in the game and signed me, and that's how I blew up. Even though that's total opposite. No Jewish anything has benefited me in my music career whatsoever. It's only worked against me. None of those type people have ever reached out or gave me a penny or offered to book me or post anything, So that's definitely the most misconception once they find that out about me,
What's the weirdest DM that you've ever received?
Oh, there's just so many, man. There's one person that's like DMs for like 8 years, some crazy stalker chick that's been harassing me out of the blue for like 8 years. No lie, it's probably been about that long. Would just somehow find out my phone numbers, find out information, and just she'll hit me from 10 different text apps. So hit my family members. Like it's like legit. It's beyond harassment, So that's definitely the weirdest because I don't know how someone could not get the point. Like I literally had to cuss them out. I've ignored them, blocked them so many times, and they do not get the point. They don't get the picture.
Out of all the places you've performed, what city showed you the most love?
I would say throughout Ohio, definitely I have the most love. Like it's crazy out there because they really treat me like the biggest name like in the game out there. There'll be artists like say, I feel like somewhere in Ohio, sometimes like they might view me bigger than Drake, or it's not even viewed bigger. They just like my swag. They like what I bring to the table, where they'll support me over some of the biggest names in the game. And, then there's some cities that are like A-list where, then nobody knows me. But I'd say throughout the state of Ohio, like they really show me a next level of love for sure.
What's the biggest lesson that you've learned from the music industry?
You just got to do this from the heart. You can't worry about anything else. And you got to realize you're not going to make friends. And a lot of the people that you idolize are not who they say they are, or they don't want to be your friend, even if you could bring so much to the table. Because like I said, there's just a lot of people that got a great handler. They're not a great artist. they're not a great person. They have a great handler. So they might be a total narcissist who anybody who's getting some shine, you're like, oh, now I'm doing the same amount of views as you. We should collab. And they're like, they're like, you're doing the same amount of views as you. Me now. Fuck you. I hate you. I hope you die. And you're like, whoa, I thought you wasn't working with me because I wasn't popping enough. And now I'm popping enough. And now you hate me even more. I don't understand it. A lot of people have a lot of personality disorders and just whacked out in the mind. And the fans don't see that side. They only see the cool guy on the camera when in a controlled environment. But a lot of motherfuckers got great handlers. Like they trust fund of music. They might even be hood. They might even be street. They might even really be rednecks from the trailer park. But they have somebody who's not that. And it usually started as a young age. That person put them in the game and created a total narcissistic monster who is like a baby in a man's body. So it's like you might see the side, they're making great music doing this, and you realize somebody else wrote it. Somebody else paid for it. They never hustled a day in their life. They never lived in struggle, and it's all made up story that maybe they lived when they were like 10 and then somebody discovered them at 10 and groomed them into who they are. And that's like a lot of the industry.
Has there ever been a moment where you seriously considered walking away from music?
Yeah, all the time, bro. All the time, especially when I started getting some real trap money. I was like, man, I'm boozing money in this music shit. Like, why am I doing this for? But the passion was there, The only reason I was really hustling and doing that was to pay for the music, So that's like I always came back because the passion and the love for it was there. It's like only trapping and doing that for the money is cool, but it's empty at the same time. It's like now you got money, but you have nothing really substantial to show for it.
What's the funniest thing that's happened to you while on tour?
Man, that's a hard question. What's funny? I could say, God, there's definitely crazy stuff. Like I know one of my shows, a bunch of girls was just throwing their bras on the stage. I never had that happen. So that made me feel like a real rock star. That was very funny though.
If you were stuck on a desert island and you could only bring 3 items, what would it be?
So I'm going to have to say a fishing pole, some seeds to grow some sort of fruit. And then if I could bring a cell phone with internet service, if that counts, because then I'm going to blow up being the guy on the island, growing my own fruit and catching my own fish. That's how I see it. So it's like even from the island, I'm going to blow up.
What's the wildest fan interaction you've ever had?
It's that same lady I talked about, that stalker, bro. She came to one of my shows, front row, and I was like, oh, man. And then she was actually kind of normal at first, and then she just got out of pocket. Security had to kick her out, and she just started screaming at them the N-word and just so disrespectful. Like, I'm so glad she got kicked out of that show, but like she was like wild. Like they had to literally, like 2 guys had to like lift her like by her arms to get her out. And she just calling them every name in the book. I was like, man, y'all security dudes need a raise for that.
What accomplishment are you most proud of that doesn't involve music?
Man, I'd say raising my sons. And then this is a future goal that I'm really, I'm very, very serious about is I like to really look into trying to open some sort of autistic community centers or schools for kids. I think that's even something that I even think is cooler than the music.
Looking back, what song changed everything for your career?
To be honest, they are not my favorite songs, but they got me results. Especially with, like when I didn't have as much of a name was Disappear, Fade Away with Kevin Gates. Like once I did those songs, I went from like a Florida star, like I was really known out here, to like, whoa, now I'm national and international. Like now I'm getting bookings from all over the country.
If someone has never heard of Bezz Believe before, what 3 songs should they start with?
I would say Country Trapper is a big staple. The Epstein Island disc, and then a new one we haven't put out yet, Southern Boy. Just because I think it's a good range of where I could take it. It's like he's got that aggressive rap and trap shit. He's got he could talk about politics. He could talk about stuff that normal rappers don't. He's very good at annihilating people lyrically. And then Southern Boy shows off like that singing range that I have, So I think that would be a nice combo to get like an overview of the whole brand of where I could take it and show you, hey, not every song sounds exactly the same. but yet they maintain the same world and they're a bit in a similar pocket.
What goals are still left on your bucket list that you haven't accomplished yet?
Oh man, I already mentioned it. I think my biggest focus right now is definitely getting those autism centers started. And I don't think I only want to make it for only autistic kids. I think for kids in general, I love to it, but I want to have a strong autism program for sure, because I like knowing that my son is autistic and how difficult it's been to get him proper help and education. Like if I'm going through that as Bezz Believe with all of these resources and, you know, got nice money and doing well in life, like, man, I couldn't imagine someone who was like really going through it, really struggling. Like that shit's gotta be so hard where it's like, if I could just help those people, man, that would make me feel amazing for the show.
Where can fans follow you, support your music, and keep up with everything that you got coming next?
So we got bezzbelieve.com. That's the website. Instagram is just Bezz Believe. TikTok's Bezz Believe Music. Facebook is Bezz Believe. YouTube is Bezz Believe Music. And also, y'all don't sleep on Spotify, iTunes, or anywhere you stream music. I promise I'm on there.